by JCPenney.
Breaking news, Mavericks are trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis.
This deal materialized in the shadows. Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, LeBron James had no idea this was coming.
This was the biggest trade in NBA history.
LeBron has dreamed about playing with Luka Doncic for years.
Dallas Mavericks, clearly you lost all faith in Luka Doncic.
Dallas won it for the now, and the Lakers won it for the future.
What a difference a lottery makes. The Dallas Mavericks had a 1.8% chance to win the lottery, and they went out there and did just that. This promptly set the social spaces into a frenzy of surprise, confusion, and even a little conspiracy. Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, and so many others were just as surprised as all of us.
Like my tweet?
Yep. But remember, 24 hours ago, previously on NBA Today, when Wendy, you said...
All right, Brian, the lottery's almost here.
Save us. Think of the sound of the seal breaking, the anticipation, the card coming out of the envelope.
Oh.
It's so amazing because lotteries have consequences. Wouldn't it be fascinating if the envelope opened and there wasn't a Dallas Mavericks logo in it?
The 11th pick belongs to the Portland Trailblazers.
What a year for the Mavericks. Imagine if it ended with Nico Harrison jumping into the top 4. Now, wouldn't that be interesting?
The second pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs. Number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
At the clairvoyant Brian Windhorst. All right, Wendy, what are people missing about the way this landed on the Mavs?
Should I take it as disrespect that the Curb Your Enthusiasm music?
No, I think you should take it as an honor.
Give me the Powerball numbers.
Guys, on April 21st in New York City, a coin went in the air.
Yeah.
Was it a quarter? Was it a dime? Was it a Sacagawea? That I do not know. But that coin flipped in such a way that it broke the tie between the Mavericks and the Bulls. And the Mavericks were the winners of that. And so they got the 11th pick. The Bulls got the 12th. But more importantly, they got the 11th pick set of lottery numbers. And that is the 1.8%. And that number is the one they got. And that is why they won. It happened starting back. You want to talk about conspiracy. When you form your jokes, go all the way back to April because that's when the coin flip happened. And that ended up being a big factor in what happened last night.
Mark?
You know, Nico Harrison and his crew walked into Mastro's last night about 3 miles away from the draft lottery. They were good with 11. Like you mentioned, they won a coin flip. They're good.
Yeah.
Then when 11 came, they weren't there. And then boom, boom, boom. They had it. You saw the emotion. You know, it's been emotionally exhausting for Nico and his staff. Nico's taking a lot of the bullets. His staff is taking shrapnel. One of their scouts, a game about a month ago, left just angry because he said he got tired of people talking stuff to him. This is a scout.
Right.
You know, but now things are certainly different. I'm being told, just like McMahon is saying, that the Mavs are not trading this pick. Rick Welch, their president, sent an email to all his employees today saying this is a new day. He told them to prepare just in case, and they did. You know that they've dealt with a lot of emotion, but they got an amazing gift. And you see that number 1 card, Rick Welch is in the middle.
Yeah.
He has it in his office today, he told me. And he's basically welcoming all the employees to come to his office today to take a picture with the number 1 card on the envelope.
By the way, here's another coincidence. Rolando Blackman was on set. Today,
same haircut he had when he played.
The Knicks went up 3-1, and the Knicks are still, fans are still lamenting 1994 when Rolando Blackman didn't play for John Stark. So I bring it all together today. So, all right, teams moving up have become the norm since the lottery system changed in 2019 to flatten the odds and draw for 4 spots instead of 3. So 3 have moved up every year since they've made that change. And 0 teams with the worst record in the NBA have won the lottery since the NBA flattened the odds from 25% to 14% for the worst team starting in 2019. The 2018 Suns are the last team to win the lottery with the worst record. Monday, Jazz Governor Ryan Smith may have had an epiphany on Twitter on Monday morning. Said, quote, woke up frustrated, went for a run, audibly screamed, sun peeked over our mountains, ran into a fellow disappointed Jazz fan, remembered this is Utah. So getting back on the horse with the best fans in the league because it's what we do here. Goal doesn't change.
He also has billions of dollars.
He does have that. And
I think
Qualtrics, yes,
I think
as well.
they get good value with their pick.
Yeah. Well, Danny, what's your takeaway from the lottery results last night?
I mean, I talked about it earlier. I love the fact that my Sixers are in there, my Spurs are in there. They get a chance to do some things. And Dallas, they played to the end and they deserve to be rewarded. They had some unlucky breaks, but these teams just so happen to be conveniently lucky every year. And I think there's another way we can find, or a better way, to make sure that these other teams that deservingly so to be in the top 4 get those picks. But I'm not saying that Dallas shouldn't get a top pick, but number 1 at a 1.8% chance is kind of crazy. But lucky break for them, happy for them. And one of the people that I felt most for this postseason or this summer was Klay Thompson. And I'm not a Warriors fan. I hate playing against them. They kicked my butt a couple times. But he went to Dallas to play with Luka. Luka ends up leaving. AD ends up getting hurt. Their whole postseason is and Kyrie gets hurt. His whole postseason opportunity goes to shreds. So with this number 1 pick, it gives Dallas, not only the city, but him an opportunity to be like, I made the right decision to be in Dallas, and we have now championship aspirations.
It's kind of unfair that they told those teams at the top that they only had a 14% chance just yesterday. Oh, you mean they knew the whole season? They only had a 14% chance of winning, and it was actually a 50% chance of being out of the top 4?
Right.
This is the percentages that they accepted when they decided to tank. Like, I wish for them and their fans that they had won, but they had a 50-50 chance of not even getting the top 4. So it's just like, hello, this is the risk they took. They lost. They have to accept it.
I think they got to shrink the lottery.
Yeah,
right. Like, to me, it's like
less teams.
Yeah, it should be at least maybe 8.
So you're saying no playing teams?
Hey, all due respect to Nico, I'm happy for you. I know you're going to be smoking a cigar celebrating tonight, but they shouldn't have the number 1 pick. So, that's not fair.
But, I mean, it's the lottery system is literally a chance. It's by chance.
I thought Masai was going to cry on the air the way.
Hey, listen, how about you win games?
Yeah. We could do a play-out tournament.
How about you win games? Look, teams.
So you're saying Toronto?
The Dallas Mavericks won games. They were trying to win till the end.
Tanked this season.
I'm not saying they totally tanked, but I'm not trying to speculate who tanked or not.
I mean, Darko, their coach, openly admitted they weren't trying to win.
Well, there you go.
At the beginning, they were.
Okay, at the beginning.
They had a stretch.
Their star got hurt.
Right. Listen, Wendy, let me ask you about the Sixers, because we haven't talked about them at all. Just your thoughts on that.
It's a fascinating night, okay? So picture you're the Sixers, and you're watching the envelopes open, okay? And the number 11 envelope opens, and it's the Blazers. You've already known the Mavericks have moved up. By the way, the Blazers reacted to this by putting themselves for sale today. All right, so now you know one team's passed you. Then you see that the Spurs have moved up, and you're like, my God, we've lost our pick. Because if 2 teams pass them, they're like, this is going to be the Thunder. Oh, no, it's the Pelicans. This moment was one of the biggest moments in the NBA this season. I'm not over-exaggerating that. That's why Daryl Morey did that, because for a second there, they thought the worst had happened. Yeah. That they had 2 teams pass them.
And that
they
Sam
were out.
Presti was collecting that one again.
So when the 7th envelope opened, he thought he was going to see Oklahoma City Thunder, and so did all the Thunder fans, and he was going to have no pick. Instead, they got lucky and moved into the top 3, salvaging their entire situation.
Wow. Pretty wild. Pretty wild night. And again, there's so many ways that this could have broken. Oh, come on. All right, now joining us here on NBA Today for the Draft Combine in Chicago, our senior front office insider, Bobby Marks. Bobby, save me here. Tell me about the Sixers' approach and, how did this all work out for them yesterday?
Well, it was an emotional roller coaster sitting in that room, and I had no dog in the race for the Philadelphia 76ers. I would say what transpired Monday night basically saved the 76ers offseason. The ability to land in the top 3, although they did not get the number 1 pick, to be at number 3 and not give that pick to Oklahoma City if it fell out of the top 6, saved their offseason here, especially with the injuries to Joel Embiid and coming off a year with Paul George last year and Tyrese Maxey. I think the goal now going into this process that has certainly started is there an opportunity maybe for you to move up to number 2? What is the separation between a player like Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey? Or are you content staying at number 3 here? They certainly have the draft assets to do that if they want to. I think we'll learn a lot about the Sixers in the next 4 weeks leading up until the June draft.
All right, Bobby. So 24 hours ago, Shams Charania reported that Giannis Antetokounmpo was open to moving on from the Bucks potentially. 29 other franchises are obviously got to get ready for that potentially. So, Bobby, what team is in a better position now to make a move for Giannis potentially?
It has to be San Antonio. I mean, you look at what happened last night with San Antonio moving up from number 8 to number 2. They are in a position to draft a franchise player. Certainly, as I mentioned before, likely a player like Dylan Harper. I think the big question is, does Dylan Harper and Stephen Castle work together here? Then you look at having the 14th pick in a draft. So when you're thinking, does 14, certainly future draft assets. You have an Atlanta unprotected first in 2027. You still have players like Devin Vassell on your roster. I think, certainly Dallas was the big winner last night, but I think certainly San Antonio helped themselves immensely if they keep that pick, or if Giannis does become available to go out and try to make a trade for him.
Bobby, thanks for the time, man. Appreciate it. There he is, Bobby Marks, our senior NBA front office insider. Look, for me, it always made sense if Giannis was going to move somewhere that San Antonio would be that place, because you've got Wemby, you've got De'Aaron Fox. Giannis just fits perfectly, I think, between those two guys in regards to their game. But, Windy, you mentioned yesterday that there would be some teams that would benefit beyond Cooper Flagg. How do you feel about all this?
Yeah, Cooper Flagg can start looking at real estate listings in Dallas. He's going to be a Maverick, it seems. The number 2 pick is where this draft's intrigue is all. Yes. Whether the Spurs keep it, whether the Spurs take it and move back in the draft, maybe take a different player to get assets, or whether they use it in a big trade. And I will tell you this, do not forget that Giannis is going to have agency in this. Whether it's he wants to stay in Milwaukee or whether he wants to be traded, he's going to have a say in where he gets traded. And while we're all looking at Texas, and I can make a case for San Antonio, if I was Giannis this morning, I'd be looking at the Eastern Conference. I'd be saying, I agree. Keep me out here in the East, especially, unfortunately, after seeing the results of what happened last night in New York.
I think he's putting on a cowboy hat. Giannis? He's going to have a prickly pear margarita and enjoy some tacos. Look, I think the Spurs are going to explore it. And I think him and Wemby together, come on, man. Yeah, I can't see them.
He wants to go to a tax-friendly state, so Florida is an option, but I just don't think Miami or Orlando has the pieces to get him. I think he ends up in Houston or San Antonio. He's going to stay in Texas since Dallas is keeping their pick. Only 3 other teams. I'm not going to Memphis. I don't know if Memphis has the pieces either. But the only other tax-free states or tax-friendly states that I can think of is Texas, Tennessee, and Florida.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lot of things he'll think about. Maybe that's one of them. We'll see.
What's your favorite team? Comment below, and if you liked the video, please leave a like. This really helps the channel grow and brings you even more content. Oh, and if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive all notifications. With each game, we notice that the NBA is getting more competitive every day, and all the teams are looking for reinforcements to win the championship. And only here can you follow your favorite team daily with incredible content from different sources. Here on the channel, there are new videos every day with analysis, curiosities, and the best moments in basketball. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for following along. The NBA doesn't stop, and neither do we. Until the next video. NBA, the passion that connects us.